Hi, let's get started tonight. Tonight's flip video is on the order of operations. All right, let's take a look here. If a math problem only had one operation, like 2 plus 3, okay, equals 5, the rules for the order of operations would not be needed because you only had one operation. But for problems or tasks that use more than one operation, there is a certain order that you follow to make sure that a problem is solved correctly. And we call this the order of operations. That's a vocabulary word, okay? And that is the certain order that you follow to make sure that the problem or the task is solved correctly. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, mathematicians got together and decided on this certain order, and there's a reason for it, but I'm not going to go into it right now because it's a little confusing to understand. For example, there's kind of two ways to do this, right? This is an example. Let's say that somebody said, well, I've always been taught that you start at the left and you work it to the right, so I'm going to say 5 times 2 is 10, and 10 times 6 is 60. Okay, and that's one way to look at it. And then let's say that somebody else said, yeah, but I think I'm going to do 2 times 6 first. And I know that 2 times 6 is 12, and 5 plus 12 is 17. Well, we have two completely different answers here. And this is the reason that the order of operations was established, so that everybody would work it the same way and come to the same solution, would get the same answer. So that's why it was created. All right. Well, one thing is, many of you have probably been taught this particular saying, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And that stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, add addition and subtraction to solve expressions. And that's great and everything, and it works good for like younger kids, like 3rd and 4th grade, who are just learning how to do this. It works fine for them. But over and over in my research, I have found that it doesn't work for like 5th grade and higher, because it teaches kids that you always do this first and do this first, and that you do multiplication before you do division, and you always do addition before you do subtraction, and that's not true. So there is a different name or acronym that I would like for you to use that will help you to solve the kind of problems that you're going to have this year and also in your upper level grades. Please don't use that anymore. You can go ahead and forget that out of your mind. I would rather that you use this term, GEMDAS. You can call it GEMDAS if you want, to remember the order of operations. And it's sort of the same, but a little bit different. Okay, the G, you're thinking, what? The G stands for grouping symbols. No longer do we have just parentheses. In 5th grade, we add braces. They come in pairs too, just like parentheses. And we also add brackets. We might call them square brackets. But anytime that you see braces, brackets, parentheses, you do those first. So it's the G, grouping symbols. The E means that you solve any exponents that you have. And if you remember, we've already had a flip video on this. This could be, that's an exponent. All right, that right there. The MD goes together, and it stands for multiply or divide. And we do this whichever one comes first, whether it's a multiplication problem or whether it's a division problem. And we always go from left to right because we read left to right. Last of all, we group add and subtract together. And we also do whichever comes first, whether it's an addition problem or subtraction. We add or subtract left to right. And this is the way that these two are grouped together. You either multiply and divide or add or subtract. Let's do some examples where we use this. Here's an example. Well, we know that there's GEMDAS, okay? There are no grouping symbols. There's no brackets, there's no braces, there's no parentheses, there's not any exponents. So we'll skip straight to the MD, multiply or divide. Okay, We can multiply. There's 3 times 6. All right, there's no division problem. So we would say 3 times 6 is 18. All right. Now, we haven't done this yet. So we'll go ahead and we'll put this on the next line. And because we haven't added the 5 yet, we'll put it here. Last thing we do is we'll add 5 plus 18 is 23. And we put our answer here. And you'll be working down like this. All right? Let's try this one next. All right, let's put the GEMDAS acronym up here. All right, do we have any grouping symbols? Yes, we do. We have 15 minus 5 in parentheses. What is 15 minus 5? 10. Now, I haven't done these things next, so I'm going to write them on my next line so I don't forget to do them. What's the next thing that I do? Well, ease tells me that I have to solve the exponent next. All right, we know that 3 squared doesn't mean 3 times 2. It means that the base number is multiplied by itself twice. So that would be 3 times 3, which is 9. Now, we haven't done this yet, so we're going to put it in the next line so we don't forget to do that. All right. Now we don't have any other exponents, so we go straight to the MD, which means multiply or divide. We do have a multiplication question, and I'm about to run out of room, so I'll put it right there. 10 times 9 is 90. Is there any dividing? No. Is there any adding or subtracting? No. So we're done, and our answer is 90. So important to do it step by step by step. You know, I've talked about that in class, how it's so important. You can't do it all in one step. Now, let me talk a little bit about brackets, braces, etc. Brackets are symbols that are used in pairs to group things together. Just like parentheses go together like this, brackets go together. Braces are also used to group numbers, and so, of course, our parentheses. These are brackets here that are shown, sometimes called square brackets. Braces look like this. We put them at the beginning and we put them at the end. Now, what if you have parentheses and braces or brackets in the same thing, that they're together in the same expression? You're going to do what's in the parentheses first. That's always going to be first. And then you'll solve everything else. I've got our GEMDAS here. All right, you may be looking at this example thinking, oh, Lord, I don't even know where to start. Hey, I understand. Step by step, we're going to do grouping symbols first. Well, we've got square brackets. Oh, and we also have parentheses. Well, we should do what is in the parentheses first. So we're going to do that first. 3 plus 2 is 5. 6 minus 4 is 2. All right, I haven't done the multiplying yet, so I'm going to bring that down to here. I haven't done this yet, so I don't forget, I'm going to add it here. And you know what? This is all still in brackets, so I'm going to put it in brackets. Oh, and I can't forget this. Okay, these are the things I haven't done yet, so I put them in my next line. Now, I look at my GEMDAS over here. I don't have, I'm still going to be doing my grouping symbols. I'm going to follow my order of operations within my brackets. So I can multiply 5 times 2. What is 5 times 2? 10. I haven't done this yet, so I need to make sure I write it here. Still in brackets, times 4. All right, next, I still have to do what's in these grouping symbols next. 10 plus 2 is 12. All right, and now we've done all that, and we add the times 4 here because we haven't done that yet, and we don't want to forget to do it. Last of all, what is left? Just one operation. What is 12 times 4? I've run out of room. We'll put it right here. 12 times 4 is 48. Is there anything else to do? No. Is there any addition or subtraction? Nope. We're finished. Our solution is 48. That's the answer to this expression. Again, step by step. Now, one last example, a little bit harder. And you may look at that again and say, I don't know. All right, let's do what is in the brackets first. Follow GEMDAS. All right, so we are going to do what's in the brackets first, but we're going to follow the order of operations within the brackets. All right, let's see. There are no exponents. All right, is there a multiplication or division? Yes, there is. As I go from left to right, I see 10 divided by 5 before I see the multiplied by 5. So I have to divide first because it comes first. So 10 divided by 5 is 2. All right, now I have not done this yet. So I do 4 plus 2. And I haven't done this yet, so I write that down so I don't forget. And because this is all in brackets, I put it in brackets and I write my 6. I write it here because I haven't done it yet. All right, now I'm still going to follow the order of operations, so I can't add yet because that's like last. But I can still multiply or divide because I do have a multiplication problem here. What is 2 times 5? You're saying 10? Yes, you're right. 10. Now, I have not added my 4 yet, so I'm going to write it again. And I'm still going to put it in brackets because I haven't finished my brackets. And I've got to put my 6 there. All right. Now I saw there's only one thing left in my brackets. 4 plus 10 is 14. All right. I've done everything in my brackets. And I have my 6. Now you may say, uh-oh, I don't see any operational symbol here, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Remember, if there is no operational symbol, which there's not, it doesn't say plus, add, add, subtract, divide, multiply. It just has it right next to it. You will always multiply if there is no symbol. So here's one of those where you're going to multiply because there's no symbol. Well, 6 times 14, if you do the math, is 84. You multiply your result, which is 14, by 6, and we get 84. You'll notice it's going to have kind of a V shape as you work it out. All right? But this is really important. If there is no operational symbol, we've talked about this in class, you will always, always, always multiply. All right. Practice problems. This goes in section 3 of your homework guide. You would need to write these down. Please don't just write a number for letter A, like the solution. I want to see how you've worked it out step by step by step by step. Here's letter B, here's letter C. You can put me on pause and write these down. Now, last one is pretty tough. I get that. It's an extra thing. Try it though. See how you do. You never know if you can do it until you try it. All right? This is what it looks like. Copy it down exactly like you see it. Follow the GEMDAS step by step by step by step. How'd you do? All right? And if you have any questions, please let me know tomorrow, and I'll do everything I can do to help you learn it. Okay? Good luck.